Dollar Bill this week was great at making Eric and Ridge look dumb. What's up, everybody? With no Beyond the Gates today, I had some time to catch up on the 3 episodes of Bold and the Beautiful that aired this week, also not on for the rest of the week because of college basketball. It's easy to catch up on Bold and the Beautiful with it being such a short show. If Bradley Bell actually put the effort into his writing that I wish he would, it could actually be in a really solid place, but instead, I think the writing continues to be frustrating for a lot of viewers. After I did my review of last week, I went online to see what other people were saying on social media, and they were as equally as frustrated with Ridge and Brooke as I was. The writing is just so odd for that story that Ridge and Brooke are making this big deal out of Katie and Bill using Eric's designs after he left Forrester, thanks to Ridge, and went to Logan and was paid to make those designs for Logan. It's as if Ridge and Brooke, who have been involved with the business at Forrester for over 3 decades now, don't know business. Like, it's very strange, the writing for Ridge and Brooke looking so ridiculous in these confrontations with Katie and Bill. Brooke was going on and on about how Katie's hurting Eric, and Ridge and Bill were getting into it over them unveiling Eric's designs publicly. Bill was awesome this week. I've always loved Bill's character on the show when they decide to write for him and don't make him either too dumb or kind of go overboard on the villain stuff as they have in the past. But Dollar Bill this week was great at making Eric and Ridge look dumb and basically humiliating Ridge and Eric in person when he talked about to the press that there was a surprise retirement party for Eric, and Eric was really surprised because he wasn't retiring. So that's why Eric left Forrester and went to Logan. See, I didn't see all this, but learning this information makes me think Ridge and Brooke sound even more dumb. And then when the press was questioning Eric and Ridge about how Eric felt about being back at Forrester now after what Ridge did to him, they basically just left with their tails between their legs. After the whole press conference thing, Brooke and Katie were still getting into it, and I liked all of the Brooke and Katie's confrontations that I've seen over the past 2 weeks. I just wish that they were having these dramatic confrontations over more substance than what they are arguing about with these Eric's designs that were paid for by Katie and Bill. You know, watching all the soaps, a lot of them have a lot of problems, but they also all have their own strengths. With Beyond the Gates, at one point, they were doing a really good job in building up their main stories, especially the quad triangle that they have on that show. With General Hospital, they do really good with the friendships of characters on that show, and they have cliffhangers. With Bold and the Beautiful, a lot goes wrong because of the writing being kind of so all over the place or just over the top and ridiculous. But they make for dramatic television. Almost every episode since I've been watching has had some sort of confrontation, someone arguing with someone else. It's just the reasons that people are arguing are lacking substance. But having every episode be dramatic, I do enjoy that after watching Beyond the Gates every day, where lately so little happens in an episode and they could be quite boring. But yeah, like I talked about last week, Katie's telling Brooke that it's going to be war now. Bill was trying to comfort Katie after the fact, telling her that she can't let the Forresters ruin their big day. Will was getting his own lashings from RJ over at Forrester. Will works for Forrester, and obviously RJ is giving Will hell that Will's parents are using Eric's designs. Yet another character upset about Eric's designs when Eric left and was under contract by Katie and Bill at Logan. Will was saying he had no idea what Bill and Katie were doing and told RJ he doesn't run Forrester and he won't be pushed out by RJ. I liked when he called RJ champ at one point condescendingly. Joshua Morrow's son, whose name I don't know, sorry, but he plays Will. I gave him some crap for his scenes with Electra last week, but in a confrontation with RJ, he definitely was much better. It seems like he does good in confrontation scenes. So it's good that he's on Bold and the Beautiful, where there's so many confrontations these days, apparently. But RJ tried to get Ridge to fire Will from Forrester, which didn't really work out. Another problem with the writing was that when RJ was trying to get Will fired from Forrester, Ivy was trying to get Steffy to fire Dylan from Forrester in the exact same episode. And it's like, you're telling the same storyline in the same episode with different characters. It's the repetitiveness of Bradley Bell's writing that does irk me, and it's why I haven't been able to watch Bold and the Beautiful in like over 3 years. Will then had a confrontation with Katie and Bill about how they're doing things and not thinking about how it affects him. Once again, love Dollar Bill sticking up for Katie in these scenes where Will's trying to go off on his parents and Bill is saying, listen, kid, you're not going to talk to us the way you're talking to us. Bill wanted to tell Will the truth of what went down because Bill thinks that working for Forrester is brainwashing Will. And I think working for Forrester just makes everyone dumber because everyone working at Forrester right now is very dumb. It seems like they all just get upset about very stupid things that don't make sense. That's what I'm gathering so far. The only character at Forrester that was a little smart this week is Dylan, but she just started working there. So I'm sure working there a few months, she's going to be as dumb as everyone else. That was our other storyline, was Ivy trying to get Steffy to fire Dylan, who she just hired. Of course, Electra wants that too because she's upset that Dylan kissed Will. Dylan was worried about going to work for Forrester because of that situation. I liked Stephanie kind of laying down the law to Ivy and Electra that they need to move past the drama with Dylan and get over it. So Steffi stood up for Dylan, which was good. Stephanie was a little more annoying last week with her mom, but this week I liked Steffi pushing back on Electra and Ivy. I learned by watching this week that it seems Ivy might be the one responsible for why Electra and Will aren't together in the first place, and she seems to be pushing Electra and RJ together. I'm fine with her to continue doing that because, like I said last time, Dylan and Will have the chemistry in that situation, and the actress that plays Dylan is quite good. When Electra and Dylan had their confrontation and it was Dylan's turn to go off on Electra, she went off. Dylan talking about her tough upbringing, how the reason she was staying with Will because she needed a place to stay. She had no money. She knows that Electra can't fathom that. She's trying her best and trying to make it on her own. And she said Electra doesn't know what that's like. She has a decent job right now at Forrester, so she's going to take it. Electra was being ridiculous, wanting Dylan to quit before she even began and go to Stephanie and tell her she quits. So another confrontation this week. So many confrontations for just 3 episodes. This one, I guess, had a little more substance than some of the other ones. At least it wasn't over Eric's designs. I can see why Electra is upset with Dylan and the fact that Dylan and Will kissed, and I guess Electra and Dylan used to be friends. But Electra doesn't know that Ivy is more of the one responsible for her and Will not being a thing anymore. By the end of the week, Dylan seemed to overhear Ivy and another girl who I believe's name is Daphne talking about how Ivy is responsible for breaking up Electra and Will. So our big cliffhanger for the week was Dylan confronting Ivy, which means we're going to have another confrontation on Monday when another episode airs. Dylan is going to confront Ivy about if she's the one that broke up Will and Electra, if she's responsible for their breakup. So, lots of drama. It's just lacking the usual Bradley Bell substance from The Bold and the Beautiful. It is an easy watch, though, because it is so short. Maybe I'll keep up with it for now, even though I think the writing could be a whole lot better. I'm considering getting back into ranking soap operas like I used to do years ago on this channel. We'll see, though, because sometimes I have time, sometimes I don't. But let me hear your comments on these 3 episodes of Bold and the Beautiful this week.